Thank you very much for inviting Dr. Roof to become involved with your roofing project, and I want to commend you for taking the time to get involved with the understanding of what's involved with the roofing project, for getting some information for yourself, for researching. One of the biggest mistakes, in fact not one of the biggest mistakes, the biggest mistake homeowners make when doing a roofing project, any building project even for that matter, but particularly a roofing project, is the fact that they don't do any research on the companies that they hire. They think a roof is a roof, anybody can put on a roof, and this is a big mistake. Every roofing company is very different. They have different levels of service, different levels of workmanship, and people ignore that. And I even make that very same mistake as people, everybody does, as customers do, our customers. I always revert and look for the lowest price. Customers always look for the lowest price, as a rule. And this is the biggest mistake, because it leads you down a path where you don't pay any attention to the quality of the roof that you're going to get and the workmanship. Price is the very worst thing that you can look for, because let's face it, anybody can get a bunch of guys at the lowest possible price that they can get them and do the job as cheap as they possibly can just to get a job. Slapping on a roof. But when it comes to roofing and your roofing project, it is not a price that's going to be protecting your roof. It is a roof. It's a whole lot of components put together with skill, with knowledge, and with integrity that's going to determine whether that roof actually serves its purpose for you and whether it serves its function, keeping the water out. It is not a cheap price that's going to protect you in every thunderstorm and every rainstorm. You know, if that's what it boils down to, that it's just the price of the roof, you are going to get really what you pay for. And you're going to get some real bad workmanship there, and you'll have a whole lot of anxiety for the rest of the life of that roof every time it rains. And you know, Dr. Roof has the biggest repair department in the entire metro Atlanta. And there are a lot of roofing companies that do roof repairs. In fact, if you do a search, you'll find that there's probably over 3,000 roofing companies in Metro Atlanta. That was the last time I looked, which was about 2 years ago. Over 3,000 roofing companies. They're all doing roof repairs. Now, why is that? They're doing roof repairs because roofs leak. Roofs get put on poorly and defectively, and they leak. And we have at least 12 men every day seeing at least 6 customers per day, every day, dealing with roof leaks. And we are just one out of those 3,000, and there's probably a whole lot more, because this was what I saw 2 years ago. You've got to really look much deeper into your roofing project than just price. I have made this mistake and paid for it many times with painters, with people who've redone my deck. I've had to redo my deck again, and the wood was rotten after it was painted. I went for the cheapest price, and there is a whole lot more to it than price. You know, Dr. Roof takes longer than any other roofing company to do a job. It takes us longer. We spend more time on a job because we do it with integrity. We pay attention to details. We're very thorough. And in doing that, that is an investment in your job, in your project. And because of that extra time that's invested in your job, obviously the cost of your job goes up. Now that, of course, means that you're going to pay more money, and that sometimes scares people. They don't want to pay more money. Well, the alternative is much worse, because you're going to get a lousy roof, and you're going to have problems down the line forever on that roof. Because to the extent that you don't pay attention to details, to the extent that you are not thorough, proportionately and inversely proportional, you will have that many problems on your roof. So it really pays to spend a little bit more money, pay a guy to spend more time paying attention to details, to be thorough, and if it takes him a day long on the roof, that's actually a good thing for you. It's not a bad thing, because that's what you're getting. Now, Dr. Roof does that. Dr. Roof takes longer and is much more thorough, and by the way, very skillful. Our roofers are the most highly skilled in Georgia, and we've been acclaimed for that. We've been given the award for the best, for excellence. We're the only contractor in Georgia to win all 3 GAF Excellence Awards. That's for excellence in customer protection, excellence in workmanship, and excellence in training. of our roofers. So they're most highly skilled, and there's only 15 in the entire country that have won this award. 15 in the entire country, and there's over, I think we did a calculation, there's over 360,000 roofing countries. That's at a minimum in the United States. I won't mention all the other awards. That's Dr. Roof is What. That's all on our website and in our brochures for you to see. Now, why is it that there is so much bad workmanship? I told you before that we have a lot of repair people, and that there are so many roofers in Atlanta doing repairs. Why is that? What is the cause? The cause of that is there is no enforced standards or codes for roofers in Atlanta. Anybody, you can become a roofer and just join a crew. They'll give you a hammer and they'll put some shingles in your hand and say, hammer those shingles on that roof. But guess what? There's nobody to teach you, and there's no course, and there's no requirements to become a roofer. There's no school for roofers, and there is no enforced standards or codes. Anybody can go up there and do anything, and nobody's going to be looking out for your interest. Nobody's going to get on that roof. No inspector's going to climb up and then see if the roof's nailed together, if it's cut properly around the boots, if the boots are properly installed, if the connections around your chimneys are properly done, if the flashings are properly done, if it's even been replaced and you got new flashing, and if it is new flashing, hasn't been replaced correctly. Nobody's going to do that, and you don't know if it's done correctly or not, because you way down on the ground not knowing anything about roofing, and that job's way up there where you don't want to get up there, especially on most of these houses, which are very, very steep and very, very dangerous. You're never going to see whether that's done properly or not, and there's a lot that can be done. The people up there who are on this roof, for the most part, are not qualified because there's no qualifications necessary. They don't know what they're doing because there's no school or no course or training for roofers to become roofers. Anybody can become a roofer tomorrow. Just get a hammer, put in your hand, climb up the ladder and get on the roof. Guess what? You're a roofer. So this is why roofs leak like crazy. And you know what? It doesn't mean to say that because you haven't had a roof leak in the last 5 years that your roof is not leaking. Because we have torn off roofs where customers have said to us that roofs are not leaking, and guess what? We find that they've got about 30 or 40 leaks on that roof. They just didn't know it. Now, do you want to have yourself a roof, a new roof that you're going to have, and although you don't know that it's got any roof leaks, but water is actually leaking into the building, it's going into the wood, it's going into the walls, you just don't know it, and you know that water inside a building, in the walls, in the wood, in the attic, where you can't see it, it's doing something. There's a whole school of thought about water in buildings and the harm that it does. I can't get into that with you now. That's a whole nother field. But this over here, you want to eliminate that. And going right back to the beginning, where I said that the biggest mistake homeowners make is choosing a contractor based on price is the biggest mistake. It is for this very reason. There is a very poor investment by most roofers in the product itself, in the actual workmanship, in the training, and Dr. Roof protects you that. That's why we have been given those awards for customer protection for 4 or 5 years in a row now, because Dr. Roof has the only roofing school in Georgia. It's called the Dr. Roof Academy of Roofing. We made it. We have created that school. Our roofers have trained in it, and it is an ongoing, never-ending thing, because it is actually the teachers and the trainers are our supervisors who watch your job every single day. They're on the job site, they come and they visit, they do inspections. The men, our roofers, know that our teachers, our supervisors are going to be on that job, and they know. There's no point in them trying to take any shortcuts. No shortcuts will be taken. They'll be found out, and everything will have to be redone, and they will pay the price and the consequences. So our men, the Dr. Roof men, are the most highly skilled in Georgia. They've been through the Dr. Roof Academy of Roofing. They are disciplined. They have integrity. We don't allow men on the roof who do not have integrity. They take pride in their work. They're the very, very best roofers in Georgia. And this is not just because I say so, but our awards say so. Our Angie's List Award, 3-4 years in a row, Consumer Choice Award, being the best roofing contractor in Atlanta, 6 or 7 years in a row, the GAF, all three Excellence Awards, 4 or 5 years in a row. So this over here is not just me saying it to you. There is awards and certificates which actually prove it. Everybody else has said so, and they have voted us this way. And this costs a little bit more money, but it is an investment that you should welcome, because you will have peace of mind and security knowing that your roof is going to be leak-free. In the worst of thunderstorms, our roofs hold up. In the very last rainfalls and storms that we had some of our biggest competition. We heard from the people that supply them with some materials, we heard that one of them had 400 comebacks. 400. And another one of our biggest competitors actually stopped going out to see their customers. They refused to go out saying to the customers the word, this is what I heard. I don't know this directly, so this is what I was heard. I was told this by people who just love to give me some information, that they refused to go out, and they were saying to the customers that that storm was a one-off storm and it's an anomaly, and they're not going to be paying any attention to that. Not going to react to it because it is a once-in-a-lifetime event, and so they're not going to. With Dr. Roof, when we had a few calls, we went out to every single one of them. And by the way, that's very important. Dr. Roof started in 1988. This is our 22nd year right now. It's now 2009. Every single customer that we have ever done a job, and there are at least 70,000, 80,000 satisfied customers that we have, can phone us for the same number that they phoned us in 1988. We're still Dr. Roof that we were in 1988. We still are based in Roswell as we were in 1988. We've never changed. And this gives you peace of mind knowing that you will be able to find us way down the line in the future, because one of the typical tricks and ways of getting out and escaping all your bad workmanship and your warranty claims that can actually kill a business in the blink of an eye, can knock a business out. Imagine having 400 comebacks out of one thunderstorm and the warranty work that didn't tell us, the damages that are resulted of that. That over there can knock you out of business, but you'll have peace of mind knowing that we are still going to be in business and the workmanship will be fine. I want to thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope you make a very good decision now that you're a little bit more educated. Bye-bye.